The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com.
So this Christmas Eve, I printed out these really nice canvas prints for Emily and I's wedding, because I figured after a year it would have been nice to give nice family portraits to the family. So I printed out these nice family portraits from our wedding, from our wedding, and I sent it over. I sent it, don't know where I was going with that. Sent it over to Walgreens. Got a nice one printed for my family. Got a nice one printed for Emily's family, and I got them boxed up. And so before I gave them, I said, "Hey, Mom, I got you a similar gift to Emily's mom. Guys, I want you guys to sit down next to each other so I can give it to you together." So I run over to my apartment to go get them. I think, oh no, they're going to think this is a pregnancy announcement because I never give my mom a gift on Christmas Eve. I'm telling them to sit down. I got a surprise for them. So I sprint over. I'm like, whoa, just to let you know, this is a physical gift. And I made Emily, and that's the picture you're seeing.
So are the pregnancy
I made
tests.
Emily
Pregnancy
drink.
tests are also physical.
I made Emily drink wine in front of them. And so Emily, as you can see, drank the whole bottle of wine. They open up the present. It's a pregnancy test. We just don't care about drinking while pregnant. I'm kidding. It was just the canvas.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Come on at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube, the TikTok, and sometimes the Snapchat if my daughter has my phone, just check out our website, www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon, and you can watch us record live every single week when we do this. And it's just $1 a month, super cheap. So that's $12 a year, no big deal. My name is Scott, I am the host. Mary is not here today, but with me, as always, my co-host. He is the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
It's the same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl, girl finds boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl. Girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day. Good year? No, the worst.
Is that Naked Gun?
Yes, it is. Very impressed.
I love those movies. Love
very
those
impressed.
movies.
Had to be like something with New Year's in it. So.
Oh, I see what you did there. Can't forget to introduce our producer, Alex.
Hey, cool cats and kittens.
Alex is doing such a good job with editing. I'm so happy that he does that. But Happy New Year, everybody. It's New Year's Day. It's New Year's Day, goddammit. And Chris, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was awesome. Reflecting back, just because it's New Year's Day, I don't really, listen, Christmas is over. Christmas is dead. Christmas is gone. It's New Year's Day now. Looking back in the new year, I was talking to Emily. I was like, this was finally a boring year. Like, after the last couple of years that we had with COVID and everything, like, we really needed just a boring year. There's nothing crazy, unless you're Ukrainian. Nothing crazy happened this year. It was just a boring year. We needed this. We needed this boring year, Scott.
We did. Listen, I wanted to just really, really quick recap Christmas. And this is kind of my advice to you, husband to husband.
Okay. I have my notepad out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, you're a newlywed and all that. So every Christmas
Yes.
is magical, especially like this is the second Christmas together. You guys are doing super cute things and all that. So a couple years into your marriage, when your wife says, listen, let's not do a bunch of big things for each other this year, it's a trap. It's a trap. You're doing big things for each other. Let me tell you what happened, okay?
Please.
Picture it. Winter Garden, 2022. So I do my shopping after the Virgin Mary's water breaks. We went over that last week.
Right.
And I did a bunch of Amazon shopping on December 17th. December 17th is when I did my shopping. So some of her last couple presents arrived today. She got a nice Florida Gator cutting board. You're welcome. so I'm panic buying and all that, and I get her a phone charger, a bunch of wax melts. We didn't have a wax melter up until this point, but with all the wax melts that I've won on Diz His 65, I had to get a wax melter, so I got that. I got her a key, or just a bunch of just little crap. Little things, little trinkets, whatever. They meant something. I got her a bunch of boss babe things because she's a big deal, and she's going through this huge renovation at work. So wanted to give her all this inspirational stuff.
It's very thoughtful.
Yeah, just little. So listen, I'm a kid of I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. Okay, I used to be able to. I could look at a box and say, okay, well, that's a Nintendo game. Okay, that's a VHS. That's a DVD. That's a Blu-ray. I knew what everything was. I don't anymore because everything's in goddamn Amazon boxes. I have no idea what anything is. Amazon will send you this huge box. Chris would call it a house, and it's a book. What am I going to do with a book? But anyway, so I get to the last gift of Christmas. And remember, we're not doing anything big for each other this year. She got me a goddamn Nintendo Switch.
What?
What the?
Alex has gotten really good at this editing with just.
I know. I can hear him now.
I know. Like in
Nintendo Switch. That's amazing.
Oh, Alex is live with us.
Oh my gosh, this is weird.
It is a little weird. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Good. Yeah.
Not as good as you getting a Switch for Christmas.
I know. She got me a Nintendo Switch, and I got her a damn keychain that says "Start every day with a positive thought."
Unless it's about HIV.
Oh my god.
Fine print.
Too soon. So that was my Christmas, and I looked at her afterwards and I said, I thought we weren't doing anything big for each other. And she's like, well, this isn't big. It's small. It fits in your hand. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is she's very difficult to shop for because she has everything that she wants. I mean, it's not like during the middle of the year, if she wants something, she goes and buys it. And if it's a big purchase, we discuss it. We talk about it. This was, me, I have to ask permission to buy things. Every day I'm like, hey, I'm running low on cigarettes. Do you mind if I buy a pack of cigarettes or, my Diet Coke or whatever? That's not true. Mm. That's a joke. That's an exaggeration. I can't, I can't throw her under the bus.
I do that.
Well, I know you do that. Your poor wife wants to go to see the Eiffel Tower, and you print out a picture on Google Print.
Can I get Pokemon cards today? No, too expensive. Okay,
but they're used from an 8-year-old or Chris. No, still too much. So, Chris, your mom shared some amazing pictures of, I guess it's her place, where you guys celebrate Christmas, and it's good to know that brick contact paper is all over not only Yob Industries but the Yob household.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Yeah, the contact paper runs. It's runs thicker than blood. So the photos you're talking about, my mom did post a bunch of photos of Christmas Eve. We have this really nice get together with. We started this, I think, last year. We started having Christmas Eve with my family and Emily's immediate family, which was nice because, with COVID going around, we just wanted to make sure we killed everybody we really cared about. So we just gather everybody in the same spot on Christmas Eve. We do leave one person, like the president, during important places. So, we'll leave, my sister, she'll be, locked in the room just in case everyone gets COVID and dies. We still have one person that we can will everything to. So we do, take precautions. These dire times call for dire measures. So some weird stuff like that. But, really fun time. The pictures that you're talking about, my mom posted because everybody's mom takes, a million photos at every gathering and posts them online. That's how I know what Alex is doing because Alex is not very active on Facebook. But
I don't even go on Facebook.
Yeah, his mother-in-law will post pictures that Alex doesn't even know are being taken. So I know what Alex is up to.
I thought, Alex looked hot pissed off in that family picture. That was supposed to, in that first picture, you just look, and I was like, is this a joke? Was that kind of a joke?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody did. Now, I did find out that Alex kind of had a tragedy in his house. And, so that was.
I found out through Facebook pictures, actually. But you know what the best thing about it, and I'll get back to my story, but the best thing about it was Alex's mother-in-law posted on Facebook, like, oh, you know, my daughter can never catch a break. And it's Alex just tearing apart his living room. No context whatsoever. It's just that's what's so great about older people on Facebook is they'll post these crazy pictures with like insane things going on, and then they won't comment back on it until like 2 days later. So everyone's like, well, what happened? Like, what's going on? Is everything okay? And I still think to this day that nothing was ever commented on. Everyone's just like, thoughts and prayers go out to Alex and his family for the tragedy that happened at their house.
Chris texted me a snapshot of his Facebook and goes, I didn't know Alex had a badunkadonk.
It's just Alex bending over in his shorts, fixing his floor.
That's all right. You know, we got to see the badunkadunk from Alex's home. I had nightmares when I saw a picture of Emily holding up wine bottles, and I see Chris in the background. At first, I thought it was like a cardboard cutout of Chris. I'm like, oh, that's cute. You know, they got a cardboard. As I zoom in, he looks like albino Grinch. But because his mouth is like behind the glass, so you got this weird face, and it looks like I zoomed in to send a picture to Chris, and as I zoomed in, I said, well, this is what nightmares are made out of.
Yeah, you really dissected this photo. You really really blew this up.
Right.
I will find the photo and post it in Discord. So if you're not a Patreon, you're not getting this content. You're not getting albino Grinch live while we talk about it on the podcast. So I will talk that is actually a terrifying picture now that I'm looking at it. So the story behind this picture, and as my cousin
sorry, Chris just posted, you have to zoom in, but look how white he looks, like a cardboard cutout. I thought he was a cardboard cutout, or photoshopped.
It is pretty scary.
But then when you zoom in,
it is not a good look. I was completely sober that night too. Like that's just me. That's just my natural look. So the idea behind that photo, or the story behind that photo, as seen in the comments by my cousin's wife Cara, who was at New Year's Eve, or who was at Christmas Eve that night, also an avid listener of the podcast, who was like 8 episodes behind. So when you listen to this episode in July, shout out to you, Cara.
Happy Independence
She's actually
Day.
a roller derby. She's actually the roller derby cousin. So anyway, so she comments not pregnant on the comment, because what happened was every Christmas Eve I exchange gifts with Emily's family, but I don't exchange gifts with my family until Christmas Day. So this Christmas Eve I printed out these really nice canvas prints for Emily and I's wedding, because I figured after a year it would have been nice to give nice family portraits to the family. So
was Astro in these family photos?
He took them. So I printed out these nice family portraits from our wedding. From our wedding, and I sent it over. I sent it, don't know where I was going with that. Sent it over to Walgreens. Got a nice one printed for my family. Got a nice one printed for Emily's family, and I got them boxed up. And so before I gave them, I said, "Hey, Mom, I got you a similar gift to Emily's mom. Guys, I want you guys to sit down next to each other so I can give it to you together." So I run over to my apartment to go get them. I think, oh no, they're going to think this is a pregnancy announcement, because I never give my mom a gift on Christmas Eve. I'm telling them to sit down. I got a surprise for them. So I sprint over. I'm like, whoa, just to let you know, this is a physical gift. And I made Emily, and that's the picture you're seeing.
So are the pregnancy
I made
tests.
Emily
Pregnancy
drink.
Tests are also physical.
I made Emily drink wine in front of them. And so Emily, as you can see, drank the whole bottle of wine. They open up the present. It's a pregnancy test. We just don't care about drinking while pregnant. I'm kidding. It was just the canvas. But so that's the story behind that. So Emily made it a point to get blackout drunk on Christmas Eve.
Oh God.
That's what you have to do now. We talked about this before. You have to, like, I just give her all my drinks, because you need to, the woman of the relationship needs to be visibly drunk at family outings, or else you will get those, oh, are you trying yet? Or are you pregnant? And,
right.
Yeah. It's very weird, because me and Emily have been together for 10 years. Right. And sleeping with each other is very taboo 10 years ago, high school. It's like, that's very taboo. You don't do that. Da, da, da. But now that you get married, now it's like, now your loved ones are encouraging you to sleep with each other.
Do you guys need to go upstairs for a minute?
It's very creepy. Yes. And it's encouraged. It's like, you don't even, like, I feel like you don't even have to, like, sneak anymore. If you get married and you just go off into the bathroom at a family outing, like, everyone's gonna, like, probably cheer you on.
Right.
Like, they're, like, it gets very, very weird when, like,
especially
the grandmother comes
especially
in,
me.
Are you trying?
If they see me and Rachel going somewhere because they know my Costco card has dust on it. They're cheering me on. I come out, everybody's smoking a cigar. There's champagne flying everywhere. It's like just winning an NBA championship.
Yeah, for me, it's like the hope of grandkids. For you, it's just like, oh, thank goodness for Scott. We were really worried.
He was getting really bitchy lately. He's really backed up.
Yeah, so now we're thinking like, oh, when we do have a kid, we'll have to like maybe do something around Christmas, be fun for an announcement. We're planning things. Oh man, it's just horrible with the asking about kids. It gets creepy. It gets creepy when a grandparent comes. It's like, are you trying for kids?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, what are you supposed to say? Like, yeah, like what do you say to that?
No, or not physically not trying.
Like I'm practicing, but I'm not. We're not doing anything. Like, what do you want to hear?
Ryan says,
like,
no, I pull out. It's a real good conversation to have.
That's why you have like a 5-year plan. That's what I did.
So wait, okay, so Alex, so you and Christina get married, and you go to a family outing.
In my wedding vows, I talked about children.
So did you unveil the 5-year plan? Like when people ask you, are you trying to get, are you trying to have a kid yet?
Yeah, no, I'll be like, no, not yet. We're gonna be married for a little bit first, and then then maybe in 3-4 years.
And then when the mother-in-law says, "But I want grandkids," what do you say? What do you say to that?
I say, well, you already have a grandkid.
Oh, see, you have the long end of the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the short end of the stick. I'm the oldest. I'm the one who's just rooting on me to have sex. It's very creepy.
This is a really foreign thing to me. Okay, your parents or the in-laws encouraging when are you going to have kids? When are you going to give me grandkids or whatever? My parents were like, when are you going to stop having kids? Like, can we do something about that? Can you like go get snipped or something because you're up to like 57? Okay. There was no encouraging when are we going to have more grandkids. It was like, stop it already. Use a condom.
What's funny is my mother-in-law gets gifts with grandkids stuff. Like she'll get gifts that has all their stones in it, and I'm like, oh, she has a ring with her stones. No more grandkids. I'll get dirty looks.
So my response to my mother-in-law is always when she's like, oh, and we'll do this with the grandkid, we'll do that. I said, oh, we're not having kids. And she gets like visibly mad.
Yeah.
You're going to kill her. You're going to there's going to be heart attack. There's going to be death. Don't do that.
No, don't encourage me. I'm just kidding. My mother-in-law's a wonderful human being.
Yeah. So before we go to break, I went to the chiropractor, and this was in the same day as thank you. This was the same day that I met the idiot 7-Eleven cashier. Yeah. So of course, like I'm already like fully charged, and I go to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor's hot. Okay, like she's very, very attractive.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So she's
hope you're face down.
Yeah.
It's funny. My back's looking at my dick.
Well, anyway, she's like, working my neck and all that because my neck is in constant pain. And, she's like, man, you're really stiff. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm like, guys, wait for it. I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. This has never happened to me here before.
Literally, never
yeah.
happened.
And she's like, no, I'm talking about your neck. When we come back, our interview with Jeff Kaufman. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER.FM.com. Just go to the music channels and go to Glacier Underground. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
What's going on, nerds? This is Louis from the Nerd Archive podcast, alongside my co-host Yadi, Lola, and Justin. we bring you everything about Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, DC Comics, and video games, and more. New episodes every Friday at 8 a.m. on all podcast platforms. See you then, nerds. Now back to the program.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. We've got a reoccurring special guest in the house. You know him as the guy who does pretty much everything. He's the sponsor of our show. He brings us the show every week from the law offices of Kaufman and Lynn. Jeff Kaufman. Jeff, how are you this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, somebody asked me last month, they said, hey, listen to Scott's podcast. Is it your job just to screw with both of them the whole time? Yeah, that's kind of fun. You know,
Yeah,
makes me feel better about my day.
Right. You're also the host of Under Oath, which is on Real Radio on Saturday mornings, and then you can catch it on all podcasting platforms. And I was listening to your closing argument on the episode that you did with James Murr from Impractical Jokers, which, by the way, badass episode. That was such a cool episode.
Hey, listen, every once in a while.
No, listen, you have a lot of cool guests, but that I love Impractical Jokers so much. And that was such a really cool episode. But what I loved about your closing argument is you were talking about just the role of the characters that we play on our shows. And you get the opportunity to play different characters on different shows. But, you know, Ryan Brian Holmes takes the brunt of the just the beat downs, as do I here.
Yes.
And in
yes,
my
he's the victim. He's the victim.
Right.
He's the victim. What's
What's your favorite character that you play? Because you play a couple different characters. You're the nerdy guy or the lawyer guy on the monsters.
I don't know. I think what I like to do a lot of times is anything that gets less hate, I choose. Because I hate when the audience turns on you. You know, what happens is you'll get an argument with somebody on the show. And if they like him better, you know, that's where you get the beating, even if you're right. And I learned this when I did this show called The Buckethead Show with Jason Bailey a couple of years ago, is there were like 5 of them and 1 of me. Right. And I thought, I'm a lawyer. I can beat them. You can beat 2. You can't beat 3. And you sure as hell can't beat 5.
No.
And basically, I just, God took a beating every show.
Now that we've got, you know, now that we're teamed up with a lawyer here, I find myself taking a lot more risk because I'm like, well, I've got a really good lawyer that you know, I'm connected with. Do a lot of your friends do that? Or
are you Scott? You just don't seem like the risk taker to me.
Yeah, that was totally a lie, Jeff. That was not real.
No, I'm not. It's just that was just a bit.
I mean, like you'd only pull 2 napkins instead of 3 out of the dispenser.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's a risk.
He shoves them back. Yeah.
If
he takes one too many, he just shoves it right back.
I've never ripped a tag off the mattress or anything.
You seem too polite.
Which is why is that a law, Jeff? Why is it illegal to tear a tag off a mattress?
I think it has to do with the flammability, because you want to be able to show that this was actually a legitimate mattress that had all of its testing done. In comparison to, let's say you go to Big Lots and you knock one out and it's like $8, you expect it to be safe. No, for $8 you're not going to be safe, dude. You're gonna have to just walk that off and not smoke in bed, you know.
Right.
I mean, what do you think they actually write on those tags? That's the best part. Have you ever read it?
Couldn't tell you.
I have no idea.
No.
Yeah, look at all you. Can't wait to use the tag mattress thing and don't even know what's on it.
I have no idea. That's why it's never made sense.
No. I buy the flammable ones. They don't have tags on them anyway. I can't afford the non-flammable ones.
I think if you're going to go, I mean, I wonder if anybody's actually woken up like that. It's normally people who get drunk and they just sleep through their burning. Which, could you imagine how much alcohol you have to consume to die in flames and not wake up? Well, something's bothering me. It's just itchy, a little itchy. Whoosh, you're gone. No, I think it takes a little longer to burst into flames. And if you're that drunk, you brought that on yourself. To be honest with you, there's not enough weed for me to smoke for me not to wake up when I'm on fire.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, what kind of drugs do you have to be using that would work for you?
Seriously,
you go, God, I took so much drugs that I went into flames and I stayed that way. I couldn't roll over. I mean, that's a lot of alcohol for you not to roll over. It's a little hot, but I can live with it.
Yeah, just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Yeah. The English would do that. I think the English could get away with that.
Right. So we were talking before you came on, Jeff. Chris is in New Jersey, right by Philly, and it's in the 30s right now, and we're experiencing the 30s this weekend. Like the feels like on Saturday morning is going to be 27 degrees. So now, Chris, what you don't know, so you have to deal with, scraping the windshield and plowing some snow and all that. In South Florida, they have to deal with falling iguanas because literally, Jeff's rolling his eyes. What, Jeff?
Stop it. You're like every stand-up comedian. When was the last time? I've never met anybody who an iguana fell on them. Well, that's just like, it's like an alligator was in your living room. That the reason why we show that stuff is because it never happens. See, in Florida, we only show videos of stuff that never happens. Because if it was normal, we wouldn't show it. No, there's an alligator in your living room. That's because you're a dumbass and you left the door open and you're right by the lake. No alligator just walked in, knocked on the door, and just came in to hang out. Like iguana. I grew up in Miami and I spent my whole life in Miami. You know what? You know when I saw an iguana? Never saw an iguana.
I've seen them in Mexico. I see them in Mexico a lot. When we go to Mexico, they're all over the place. But I've never seen one in like Florida.
No, I've been in South Florida my whole life. I moved to Orlando, but I never walked into the backyard and there was this, Jurassic Park like thing walking by me. It never happened.
I don't know, but Facebook,
but stand-up comedians love to talk about it. They love to talk.
They do. But Facebook gives the warning. Facebook gives the falling iguana freeze warning when it's going to get really cold. So it's got to be true. It's got to be true.
Really? Because you saw it on Facebook?
Yes, that's where I get.
Did you learn something from the Twitter files? Come on, we learned a lot from that. I love how people are now denying it. They're going, oh, wait a second. These letters from the FBI can't be true. We're a bunch of dumbasses. Anytime we don't like something that we disagree with, it's fake news.
Right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
No matter which side you're in, will claim fake news. I think the guy who owns the place that goes, yeah, I just released all these emails. I don't know what you're talking about. And let's talk about Hitler for a little bit. Since
always a good topic.
And, as a Jew, I'm so happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
I always love when people go straight to Hitler. And I would say he's top five bad guys. Genghis Khan probably goes up there a little bit, but every time they go, they're like Nazis, they're like Hitler. Let's get some perspective, okay? If the guy you're talking about made people into soap, we can agree. Okay, that's where I decide to call it. Lampshades and soap. If that guy did it, okay. He's a Nazi, you can compare him to Hitler. But just because you don't like somebody's opinion, I think we got to relax with this. That would be like referring to every basketball player as Michael Jordan. Right. Oh, he's Michael Jordan. No, he's not.
The next coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when it came to certain people, Alex Jones, I don't like the idea of being sued over words. And I'm a lawyer, slander, all this other stuff, but you hurt my feelings. Your words hurt me to the core. You're like, what are you talking about here? And Alex Jones had to pay because he suggested it was faked. Okay, so the families are going, you upset me so much that I deserve $1 billion. I got people who lose arms and don't get $1 billion. I represent a lot of people who are seriously hurt. Their backs, they can't walk for the rest of their lives, and they don't get $1 billion. But there's people go, you know what? You said something very mean, and I didn't like it, and my feelings were so hurt. $500 million. Can we get some perspective in the world? Just a little bit.
Yeah, I actually have a question on that. So, for people who don't know what you're talking about the how Alex Jones said Sandy Hook was fake, it was staged, and now the families of Sandy Hook are suing him. So, how do you put a monetary value on, and I'm not talking about Sandy Hook, so please don't, but just you gave that example. How do you put a monetary value?
Yeah, don't sue me. That's what he's hoping
please,
for.
I can't afford it. How do you put a monetary value on hurt feelings? Like what is that? Is it like in the eye of the beholder?
No, what happens is that they get a jury together and they say, okay, these are the damages, and the jury goes, sure, we'll go with that. But that same jury would not give you, if you lost both your legs, that same amount of money.
Right.
So think about what are we actually talking about here? Oh, yeah. He get, 20 million, 30 million. You're not going to get $500 million. Nobody gets $500 million. I've never seen somebody get $500 million. Oh, the tobacco companies have to pay this much. But you're now busting on somebody based on how he feels about things, that we're so offended by what this person said, we're going to make it $500 million. Offense is now worth money. Not actual pain, not damages, but I'm offended and I should be paid that much. This is how you know what kind of universe we live in right now, where words are more damaging than bullets.
That is pretty crazy when you think about it. It's true.
You threw a grenade at me and I'd get less money than a word.
Apparently, sticks and stones is not a real phrase anymore.
Yes. That comes with a participation trophy, if I've ever heard one. We're going to give you this and your participation trophy for being in this trial. And it's got like a little gavel you get to take with you. I defend people all the time for people who are actually hurt. And when I see these verdicts, and the problem with these verdicts, it makes everything else seem less. He's upset, so we're going to sue. Like, Johnny Depp. I get Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp should have gotten the money because it hurt him professionally.
Sure.
He could show that, yes, I got kicked off all these things. Now, the families were going, what am I losing here? People are emailing me saying it's fake. Okay, all right. But how much is that worth? Is that $1 million? I get insulted all the time by email. If every time somebody said something nasty against me, I got paid $1 million, stop it. I'd be getting $500 million. But it's so ridiculous to think that words are worth that much money. They're not. J.K. Rowling didn't get that much money for her books. She made Harry Potter. So stop it. I love how Chris has this green screen, but it only covers like a little portion. So I'm basically staring into his kitchen.
Yeah, like I
couldn't
couldn't afford the full one, Jeff. So I'm still waiting for my money
zoom
from
in
FTX.
using that camera.
Yeah, no. You know what? I thought on my screen it's zoomed in. I guess it's not on yours, which is great to know now that I thought I could make up that. I thought I'm in this great studio. No, so it's just I'm in my apartment. Let's pull the curtain back. I'm in my apartment.
You could just extend that green screen by like $12 and be in business. Just suggesting.
Yeah, that would cut into his Pokemon card buying.
That Amazon. And the thing is, it's really straight though too. I really appreciate he chose the straight one. There's no like gaps in it. I appreciate.
I you either went straight or long, and I just went straight because couldn't afford the long one.
All right. So we were talking earlier before we went on about how to get out of a traffic ticket.
Yes. So Jeff would love some recommendations on just how to get out of a traffic ticket or just other precarious legal situations.
All right, let me give you some first advice. Don't start asking, yelling at the cop.
Right.
Let's be straight. Be kind. Hey, listen, officer, I'm terribly sorry. I know it's late outside and you shouldn't be screwing around with people like me. I apologize. That's a good way to start. Instead of going, I got rights. Click, click, click. That's the sound of those.
Like I'm recording you.
All the rights all the way to the who's cow. And we were joking around. If you have, this is a terrible joke, but it actually works because I don't want to say that depending where you are, but police officers can be very homophobic. I've discovered that earlier in my criminal career, all I could do is mention that the person they were arresting might have been hitting on them and they get very sensitive and start saying some crazy stuff to you. But I think gay men probably get out of a lot of tickets.
Oh,
sure. just when the guy pulls up, how can I help you, officer? And the guy goes, we're good. Because, I think homosexual is like kryptonite to a lot of police officers. they kind of like, I don't want to deal with this.
Forget about the weapons you could be wielding. God forbid if they're gay.
No.
Right.
God forbid. And I want you to know something right now. I would pull out every sex toy you had and stick it in the front seat. I think you should just drive with a lot of fake penises in the front seat. And I guarantee he'll look in that window and goes, yeah, we're not doing this. And just turn around and walk away. I think you just pull out and the best thing is if you had like a disco ball at the top of it spinning around when the cop pulled you over, that'd be great. You got your light, I got mine.
Throw on some ABBA.
See how that worked out for you. Yeah. I love it. It's like, no, you got to go a little deeper, a little YMCA, something like that.
Yeah, some village people. Yep.
Little village people.
Little young man, little village people running with the spinning penis ball flying in the car.
All right. Yeah. So I'm taking
notes. What are you trying to do, sir? It's mood lighting. It's funny. There are a lot of people out there who think Jeff's making gay jokes. I'm not. I love what gay people are able to get away with because I can't.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I say terrible things. If you do it in a gay voice, you can get away with anything. Like if I say some things, they go, forgive me, he's funny. But I have learned that police officers can be very homophobic. So that was just my history. And I don't know if they've gotten better. There'll be some police officer going, yeah, I'm a little homo. I guarantee the people listening to it in the car going, yeah, we're not changing.
We're not changing.
We're not changing.
It's good to know. So that's how you get a traffic ticket.
But the worst thing is, and we joked around, what happens if the cop's actually gay when he comes to the window? You're like, uh-oh.
then you got to make good with the head. You got a date for the night now.
Yeah, you're by for at least the evening. That's the way that works. You know, you become prison gay. I guess that's how it works out.
So that works with traffic tickets, most likely.
I think it'll work. I think it'll work with any stop. It might even work with a DUI stop. You can be drunk out of your mind and just be swinging that penis around your head. I'm out. I'm out. Because the worst thing is this. You know, most police officers are required to wear cameras. Right. You know, they have the camera on the chest camera. And I promise you that camera will break in 10 seconds. I don't know what happened to the camera. They don't even want to be thought of that way. You know, the officers go, wait a minute. Somebody's going to watch this. They're going to think I have a problem. And, you know, you could imagine that stop as he sticks his head in the window. Can I? Yeah. I can't. I don't even know he'd get that third word out. License and yeah, you're gonna have a good day.
Have a good day. Just slow down.
I think that'd be the end of the conversation. You know, could you see the cop on the other side and they both be giving each other the eye? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, we never saw this. Scott, I'm gonna get you a dildo for Christmas.
Yeah, could you see Scott? That'd be the best. Scott and Chris pulling somebody over. They'd be showing each other the light in their face, and both their face would be going. They'd be nodding to each other. No. Do not ask this person to get out of the car. We're not getting him out of the car.
Yeah, right.
He might not have pants on. We're not sure what's going on here. I always love these things when cops come up on somebody that's clearly out of their mind, and they're trying to ask the guy regular questions, and they know they're looking at this dude. I mean, and they know better. He's got the strawberry shortcake shirt on, no pants.
No pants.
Sir, is there a problem? Yeah, there's a problem. You don't need to ask. You know, and the guy always looks at him weird, and the cop's going, okay. Or when they have the taser out. And I love when somebody gets tased. I got to be honest with you. I love that. Tasing somebody is like a Christmas gift to me, especially when he gets told like 8 times. Right. I'm not doing And they always do that weird dance when they're getting tased. Right. And, you know, I love that. You know, and listen, I know you have rights and everything else like that, but, you know, after the 3rd time the guy says he's going to tase you, he's got to. He's got to tase you. Because just what's that word? Credibility.
Yeah.
I think if anybody sees it, no, Bob doesn't tase. Bob waits 6.
You have to commit.
And I think there's a number you have to ask. As long as your safety is on the line, you tase me. And the minute they tase him, you notice that attitude changes?
Slightly.
It's amazing how quick you decide you don't want to be
slightly.
tased. See, I'm a brave guy sometimes. I like to think I'm a big dude. I'm like 245 pounds. I mean, I'm a pretty Bronto burger eating dude. But I believe you. I'm going to believe the officer when he has his gun drawn or the taser's out. So I think that's an IQ test.
That's fair.
I think that should be, and that should also be the test on whether you can have children.
Go to natural selection.
If you got tased after being told 5 times, they should just castrate you because we don't need you spreading your seed to the world.
Please don't reproduce.
I mean, you were just too dumb. You're going to screw up our world. What is it? What's the movie? Idiocracy?
Idiocracy.
What's the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Idiocracy. Where everyone's an idiot and they think Gatorade grows all the vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got this brilliant idea, Jeff, and this will work out for you. This will work out for us. So I don't know what the threshold is, but I'm gonna put a challenge out to our listeners. Okay. If we get to a certain level of our Patreon membership, I am going to let you tase me. You know, one, you'll love that, and you can watch it over and over again.
I will tase the crap out of you. But you have to be wearing You have to be wearing the mascot head when I tase you.
Okay, I'll find a mascot.
Than watching that mascot.
I will find
look like a bobblehead. That'd be great.
I will find some sort of furry head, and we'll make that happen. But we can put it on our YouTube, our TikTok. So I don't know. Chris, Mary, and I will figure out what threshold that is. Well, I'm going to figure that out because we're going to have to raise some money.
Which one do you want? Do you want the ones with the darts or just the stick?
Whichever one's going to hurt me a little bit less.
And the ones I have to shoot at you. Well, of course you got to go with the. You can't go with the barbs. Yeah, no. The barbs are the worst, man, because you got to take those out.
Yeah, I don't want you to shoot anything. So because if you miss and you hit my nuts, that's going to be a problem for me. So maybe it
depends. It might get you. It might jumpstart you like a car.
Hey, have you tried that?
You know, so he goes. You know what happens, honey? All you got to do is make that sound, and I get an erection.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Oh wow! Hey, you know, Scott's wife is going. Jeff is the best,
right?
I just have to make that noise when I'm coming out of the bathroom. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. See, now this is better than iguanas falling out of trees, dude. See, this is right on.
You're right.
This is Miguel Colon.
You're right.
Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm all about content. I will do anything for content. So we'll figure out. We've got to get to a certain level of Patreon.
So how many people have to like your account before I can tase you?
Well, I don't know, because we have 11 Patreon members right now, but like some of them are at $1 and all that. I've got to put it like
$3.
Some of them are like $1 a month.
You know, you're in trouble when your wife doesn't even listen to the show. Babe, honey, you know I don't want to.
Listen, there's a good reason why my wife doesn't listen to this show, because we are way too open about my sex life on this show.
Oh, yeah, well, that's because
It's because we never talk
We
about
need a
it.
good
'Cause
laugh.
there's none.
Not the point. Yeah, I don't know. I can't talk about sex. I read these cards the other day. You ever get these relationships cards? You get them online, and you and your significant other go through the cards and ask each other questions.
Yeah.
And you should do
I've
this.
seen
Actually, I'm
those.
going to buy this to you. You know, it'll be $15. I'll have it sent to you, and I want you to tell me whether I screwed up your marriage or I made it better. You know, some of the questions go. Some of the questions are like, what do you think would improve our relationship? And you're going, because you can't tell the truth.
Yeah. Or
Because if you could put it this way, if you could have told the truth, you would have told her before.
right. And then it digs into your
You know what would improve my life? Get all your weird stuff
Right.
out, and you don't need to do that.
and it definitely
I don't
digs
think
into
you
your
need
past.
to, because you've already gotten the weird stuff you can get away with her already.
Right.
If you could get away with it, you would have told her.
Right.
You know, you go, you know what I like? I like when you scratch left or right. I mean, there's a lot of options you have, you know? I mean, women are like Rubik's Cubes down there. We're pretty easy, you know?
Pretty cut and dry.
You go up and down and call us daddy. It's real simple. It works for us. You know? Hey, from Jersey, you call it stepdaddy. But I mean, that's how it works.
Hey, to each their own, man.
If you have any listeners after this show, this is what I would suggest. When you go to Starbucks, I have a made-up Starbucks name I like to use.
Oh,
And it's not one of those that like make people say something. I'm Armando. I go in and I say,
Armando.
I give the name Armando because it makes me sound sexy when they call it out. Armando.
you probably get VIP treatment.
They go, what's your name?
Yeah.
And when you tell them Armando, they look at you, they go, no way. And, you know, but they're afraid because they don't want to seem racist. You know, he might be Hispanic. You know, like if I said Shlomo, they would write that without even missing a beat. But because I said Armando, they got all judgy with me. You think it's Armando? They're trying to figure out if they say it slow, does it mean something sexual? No, just and I learned that in Colombia. Go by Armando because they couldn't pronounce Jeff. You know, because when they say El Jefe, you know, six guys pull out their guns. Where's El Jefe? You don't look like El Jefe.
Oh, you El Jefe, bro.
You're El Jefe. And every time I go to Colombia a couple times, and every time you tell somebody your name is Jefe, they look at you and they're going, "Oh, really?" And they give you that eye. You're going, "I know what it means, but that's my name." You know, it'd be like naming myself Kaka or something. You know, that's what's your name? I'm Kaka. Really? You know, it's American for something. Have you ever studied your name? Like tried to figure out what it meant?
No, I'm too afraid.
Like your last name?
No,
I got to be straight with you, Chris. You got one of those names that just, you know, I don't believe. You know,
I don't myself.
Yob, Yobb.
Ask me where it's from.
Anything.
Ask me where it's from.
I want to say Switzerland. I want to say
I have
it
no
sounds
idea.
Swedish.
No, I have no
You
idea.
haven't looked
No
it
one
up?
knows. No one.
You can't
No, we've
Google
tried.
Yob
We've
and
tried.
find out what it
we've
means.
tried. Yeah, we've tried. Yob is a hoodlum in England.
Does somebody own Yob.com?
No, not yet.
Why did you buy
Actually,
that? What is wrong
buy
with
that
you?
site.
It was $9.
No.
Cheapo.
I should. Well, listen, I spent it all on a green screen. I can't afford the.
www.yob.com.
You're gonna
And find
buy that
out who
before
owns
me,
it.
and you're gonna try to sell it to me.
No, I'm just gonna make it a gay porn site. It'll be great.
Jeff, thank you so much for swinging by again. Where can our listeners find you for legal stuff, your stand-up comedy, comic books, all that good stuff?
If they want to find me and all the nonsense I do, you can go to The Real Jeff Kaufman. Or if you want to be represented by somebody who actually will give a damn, go to whenyouneedus.com.
Awesome. Jeff, thank you so much. We always look forward to your visit, and we'll be seeing you again next month. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in No New Friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Mary is not here this week, but in studio is our producer, Alex. Chris, you had something, you encountered something this week, you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know whether to call it troubling or funny or I should worry, but I had my office Christmas party, and Emily and I actually met up with some high school friends, and we went to another bar afterwards, and I confirmed with someone this did happen. I did have a lot of drinks that night, and so I did have to confirm with somebody that this did actually happen, because it was one of those like fever dreams. Like, it did not feel real, and even thinking back on it, I think like, what happened? So I'm talking to this person that I haven't talked to since high school. We weren't even close in high school, but once you have like 6 or 7 drinks, everybody's your best friend, and like everyone who you've ever come in contact with is just
apologize for every even inch of a bad thing you've ever said to them.
It's like, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry I called you, I all these names in high school, and I was like, it's like, you never said that. I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it. I did think it. So I'm talking to this kid, and
I'm sorry I slept with your mom. You did what?
I thought you knew.
Oh, my bad.
Your little sister looks just like me.
You can call me Dad now.
So I'm talking to this guy. We are on a ledge in front of a fire pit. Mind you, he's very tall, so his feet touch the ground. Mine are dangling. So it's probably a weird scene looking over at both of us talking. So the fire's very hot, and this will make sense a little later. But the fire's very hot. It's very close to me, dangerously close. Well, I didn't think it was dangerously close until I encountered what I'm about to tell you. So, talking to this kid, we're having like a heart to heart. Like, we're talking about stuff. Friends of ours that have died since high school, and like how it affected us, and this and that. So it was like very, very personal. And then I looked to his left, and I'm like, "Oh, is this your girlfriend?" He goes, "No, I have no idea who that is." I was like, "Oh," and then so I said, "Hey, who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Bethany." I was like, "Oh, I'm Chris," and I shook her hand, and
I'm Chris Yob,
and
I'm Chad,
and she goes, "I'm a medium." And I was like a witch? And she goes, "Well, like, not really,
jmacmedium.com.
Well, this was different.
Okay.
So we're talking, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, but I overheard you talking. I feel a lot of energy, radiating off of you guys."
Oh no.
I was like, "Oh, that's great news. A lot of energy." She's like, "No, not from you." I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Can you explain?" And she's like, I was like, "Can you tell us how we die? Like when we die?" And she looks at the kid I'm talking to. She's like, "You're gonna live a very, very long life. Like you're gonna have a very long, full life." I was like, "Oh wow, what about me?" She goes, "Oh no, I'm sorry, you not so much." So
I don't know which one's shorter, you or your life.
Thanks, Scott. Listen, I was just told I was gonna die, and now you're making short jokes. So I immediately backed up from the fire because I'm thinking, okay, this could be how I die. So my feet are dangling off this edge. I could fall. So she's really apologizing to me. She's like, "I'm so sorry, but you're just not going to live a long life. Like I just do not sense that energy from you." And
she sensed your crippling debt, credit card debt from buying Pokemon cards. Your wife's going to murder you.
I point to Emily. I said, "How about her? That's my wife." And she's like, "Oh no, she's gonna live very long. She's gonna live very long." I said, "Okay, that's great." And like I'm going around in a circle. I'm like pointing to all these friends from high school. Like, "What about this?" "Oh, yep, long life. Yep, very happy, very prosperous." And I point to the next person. "Yep, very, very, very long. Wow, very. I feel very strong energy from him." I said, "What? Sense my energy again?" She's like, "No, sorry. You're just not even a fraction of what their energy is. You're just not gonna live long."
Please tell me you got her contact information because I need to know when I need to look to replace you. If I could just have that timeline, that would be fantastic.
So like I don't know what the validity of her witchness was because she spent the rest of the night throwing up in a bush inside the restaurant. So was she a real witch? I don't know, but just the gall that she had to just. Like, I literally thought that this was this guy's girlfriend because that's how close she was to him. Like, she just came right into our conversation. She really wanted to tell my friend that he was going to live a really long life and that I was just going to die very young. I haven't stopped thinking about it for like the last week. I think I'm going to take up witchcraft because I just want to be that guy at bars that go up to random people and just tell them how long they're going to live. I think it's I think it's a cool shtick. Like just be that guy that just pops out. And I'm small, so I could put on like a costume and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you
I
look
can
like
just
a
come out of the
goblin.
bush.
Yeah.
I'll come out. I prefer elf.
Troll?
But
Elf, okay.
I prefer elf. I just pop out of the bushes that obviously leaping over the vomit from the prior witch and just tell people their fortune based on energy. Now, I don't believe this stuff at all, so it didn't really affect me, but I was really happy for my friend who does believe in it, knowing that some random witch came up to him and said that the energy that he was giving off was going to make him live a very long life. Very happy for him. For me, I don't believe it, but if I do die, I hope it's at least something tragic so that it would propel our podcast in my afterlife.
That's all I ask.
To go to, yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of my contract, part on the podcast, that if I do die early, that it has to be something tragic. Like if I do like develop a terminal illness, I can't go out that way. It has to be like I have to fall into a gorilla exhibit and go viral.
It's something where your name is mentioned. Yeah, you go viral.
Yeah,
you become Googleable. Just make sure that all of your profiles on social media have, host of No New Friends podcast. That way, when they Google you, they're like, "Oh, I've got to hear this guy when he was alive and in his better years." Or
and then they're going to hear me and they're like, "Good thing he died." So good segue, Alex. Have you ever met a witch? Do you believe
I have.
Do you believe in that stuff, Alex? Mediums and ghosts and stuff?
No, I don't believe in afterlife.
Wow, this got very dark very quickly.
Yeah.
I was literally like that. I don't understand why I'm going to call you an atheist. All right. I'm going to categorize you an atheist.
Sure.
I don't know why every atheist just at every chance they can get just wants to tell you they're an atheist. Like I was in the supermarket one time, someone sneezed, I said, God bless you. And they said, I don't believe in God. And I was like, what do you want me to say? Nothing happens when you die? Like, what's the correct thing to say when someone sneezes? Then atheists just love to just tell you that they don't believe anything. So I'll ask this question again, Alex. You don't believe in ghosts. You don't believe in witches.
Yeah, I don't believe in witches or ghosts. Or
Okay,
Frankenstein.
Much simpler answer. Scott does, I think. I think Scott is a firm believer in the witchcraft.
You know, the witchcraft, no. I don't know what I believe, but I do know that if I need to have my questions answered, I am going to go on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour in St. Augustine. I'm going to go to seeamericatours.net. That's SEE americatours.net. I'm going to use the promo code NNF and I'm going to get 25% off discount. And then I can learn all about the ghost and see for myself if it's really real. Anyway.
I don't believe it. I think it's bullshit. I did get to meet up with one of our Patreon members, one of our friends, somebody that appeared on the episode insert here. Scott, because I don't remember.
The one when Mary had a bad hair day?
The one where Mary had a bad hair day. I did know that. Dane from the YouTube channel Big Beautiful Diz. I can say who he got a sponsorship with. It's Magic Candle Company. Congratulations. Use Big Beautiful Diz 15 for 15% off your purchase. Just proud of you. I met up with him at a buffet. very
Dane,
romantic.
I'll be
date.
sending you the bill for that plug in a minute.
Very romantic date between Dane and I can say that because he's 18 years old now. Emily and I traveled out to around him.
I'm the one that gets teased for doing, for going to the park for park events. Chris is going on a date with an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I waited till he was 18.
He's 18.
You went on
18.
You went on a date with Dane when he was 17. I waited until he was 18.
That's right.
That is true. Joe and I did go on a date with Dane at Dane's poor family. They're like, he was 17 and he comes to Fort Wilderness Lodge. Joe and I meet him out there, and their family's like, his family's like, okay, so let me get this straight. You're gonna go meet two guys that you met on the internet and you've never met in person. And he goes, yep, see ya. At a Disney resort.
17 is legal in Alabama.
We do things a little bit different up here in the Northeast, Alex. So I did get to meet up with Dane. We experienced some, we went to a buffet. So it's what's more, I don't know anything that's more impressive than seeing the size of people at buffets. It's just like, it's like if you ever think you saw a very large person go to a buffet, they don't have anything.
And if you want to see larger, come over to my house real quick.
I love buffets.
It was a fun time. And if you want bonus content from that meeting, Dane and I have videos posted on his Patreon, which will probably be on our Patreon at some point too.
Yeah, he's going to be. We're going to be doing a joint thing with Dane where we're going to put. Dane says size of people. Nice phrasing after talking about going on a date with an 18-year-old. But we're going to do a lot of joint Patreon stuff with Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, so that should be cool.
Yeah, nothing really insane happened that night except for the kiss that me and Dane shared before I tucked him into bed that night. But the one funny thing that happened was Emily did her best Spider-Man impression when she got mac and cheese out of the buffet and just the cheese just followed her 5 feet away from the plate. So that was fun. Nothing more embarrassing than being in a gross place like a buffet, where you have to touch all the same things and just being grosser than that and just doing something like so grotesque as to like what do you do with that? Like you just have to put it on the side and just wait for someone to come clean it up. You can't put it back, and you can't put it on your plate. So you have to like put it in like no man's land between the plate and the dish. So that was fun. Dane did just post a photo of me and Dane. We did a prom pose in front of a Christmas tree. I said we want to take a picture together. Listen, we want to.
they're in front of this what looks like a really, really tall tree. It's touching the top of the ceiling, and Chris and Dane are like maybe halfway up on the tree. Ryan, without missing a beat, says that's a 6-foot tree.
We wanted to take a picture together, so my first impulse, because the chemistry was strong, was, Dane, let's take a prom pose photo. And we did, and that is the photo that was just sent in Discord. Really fun time. It was really great to meet Dane, and yes, he did come with Pokemon cards, and I took all of them home with me.
That's what they're calling it nowadays?
I drove 2 hours to see Dane. That's how much I owed him because of the canceling of him, the cancellation of plans 6 times before. But again, he was 17. I had to cancel until he was 18. So I'm a smart man, Scott.
Yeah, you are. All right, you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Ooh, I get to play.
Yes, this is your first time playing. Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Florida, one is from New Jersey. We've got to guess which one is which, and this is a special New Year's edition. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at a New Year's party at Scott's neighborhood. I heard Scott volunteered to dress up as the New Year's baby. I think he was picked because he has the right haircut and he never lost his baby fat. After hearing about Scott's performance as the Grinch, I figured I had to stop by and check it out. I guess for some reason Scott's neighborhood has a community New Year's baby costume. Basically, it's just an adult diaper with a top hat, which is perfect because Scott always looks for costumes where he doesn't have to actually wear pants. Mary was supposed to be here, but I guess she missed her bus twice because she was too busy looking at TikTok videos. Chris also was supposed to be here, but he's too busy critiquing 6-year-olds on their stage performance. And here comes Scott now. Apparently the New Year's baby did some pre-gaming before the party. He somehow put his diaper on backwards, now looking more like a sumo wrestling Winston Churchill than the New Year's baby. And now Scott is making his rounds, making everybody more and more uncomfortable because he's been drinking more than Buddy the Elf. And he keeps on murmuring something about teaching math to the hottie at 7-Eleven. And now the neighborhood children are beating him up again. Last thing Scott's going to remember is a Lightning McQueen croc hitting him in the face. Luckily for Scott, the room cleared out before the kids could do too much damage to him, as Alex walked through the room, crop dusting everybody, and now the party's been completely canceled. So while I'm talking to the hazmat team, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And in our first story, there is a $2,000 reward to help find a lost rooster named Squiggy. And in our second story, a man crashes his SUV into a FedEx truck while receiving oral sex.
Okay, so we've got Squiggy and UPS oral sex. Alex, you're our guest. What do you think?
I think the UPS oral sex is probably Florida. So that wouldn't be New Jersey.
Yeah, I agree. I think UPS truck is Florida. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to go opposite. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go opposite here because I want.
All right. There we go. Let's find out who's right.
And our first story is from New Jersey, where a southern New Jersey community of Mays Landing has been rocked by the disappearance of the town's famous rooster named Squiggy. They are now offering a $2,000 reward for his return. Now, I don't know any man that wouldn't pay a couple $1,000s to help find their lost cock. That means our second story is from Florida, where according to Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue, an SUV crashed head-on into a FedEx truck. The 2 individuals inside of the SUV were reportedly naked. No injuries were reported, except for the woman did complain of a sore throat. And in other news, I found a story of a man who buys all the fried chicken in a shop, so the woman who called him fat can't buy any. Now, Scott, maybe you can use this excuse next time you're at KFC. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Even Alex got in on the jokes.
Yeah.
I was funny because in the chat room I was typing no jokes about me, and then I had to delete it because he made a joke about me.
Yep. Yeah.
I was very surprised.
That's how quick.
Are you guys keeping track of who's winning these segments?
What's that?
No.
Oh, I said, are you keeping track of who wins these segments?
No, I don't even know who won this segment. I don't remember what I said. I don't care. It's more about Ryan's delivery and
Yeah, Alex.
I mean, who won today? I have no idea.
Chris.
Chris
got it right.
Good job, Chris.
I don't even know what I voted on because I was in the middle of writing stuff, and I was just like, let me just do the opposite because I just listened for the jokes.
we came for the games. We stayed for the jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the jokes are hilarious.
Yeah, New Ryan's going to tally it up when he listens, though. All right, so real quick, Chris, before you go to your cliff notes, I want to say congratulations to Bob Geldof and Band-Aid. They hit their 1 million subscriber. I don't know what is being subscribed. I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's Facebook, Xanax. I don't know. But I've been seeing all of this old footage of the making of Do They Know It's Christmas? And then when they performed it at Live Aid. So they actually performed this thing multiple times. And Chris, I sent you the Live Aid video of them singing it. They looked so excited to be singing it. I mean, it was like they're jumping on stage. I mean, I thought that they were going to break out and start speaking in tongues and be falling out and stuff. It was insane.
That's cool, Aid.
There's not a day that goes by where I'm not thankful for Band-Aid for just letting the people of Africa know that it's Christmas time. It's just something that I'm forever thankful for.
I'm just thankful for Band-Aid for giving us that comedy. All right, Chris, you got any cliff notes for us tonight?
Actually, Scott, we're going to switch it up a little bit tonight. It's the new year.
Remember what happened the last time we switched things up on a dime?
Oh, you're talking about the podcast. The time before we switched things up was a really fun time. Yes, the time I switched things up on the podcast was a dark time in our history. So no, I'm doing a little
celebrate
recap.
drug abuse around the holidays. It's a real problem, Chris.
I wish I was part of that problem. So I wanted to recap the year 2022. So instead of doing a recap of the show, doing just a small smidget of a recap of the year 2022.
And this should be really exciting because at the very beginning of the show, you said how boring 2022 was. And now we're going to get this zinger of a stand-up comedy routine. About
I didn't say it was good. Yeah, I didn't say it was good, but hey. So,
gotcha.
All right. So this is what I wrote. So I just read what I wrote like I usually. So Cliff Notes are going to be a little different this year. And I guess by this year, I meant this episode. I have been drinking. I wanted to do a little recap on the year of 2022. As most of us know, Ticketmaster caught a lot of slack because of their handling of the sale of the Taylor Swift tickets. People who caught even more slack were the scumbags who bought these tickets at face value and then turned around and sold them at 20 times their value. Which, honestly, all jokes aside, is unbelievable. I do like to resell things, but I think this was pretty messed up. And on a totally unrelated note, if anybody needs a personal loan, please email me at no new friends podcast at yahoo.com. So one of the sadder things that happened this year was Queen Elizabeth II died, and people around the world actually were mourning about this. And when I say people, I mean white people.
Yeah, the whitest.
The COVID pandemic entered year 3. I'm sorry, I forgot that we have a lot of Southern listeners, so let me translate. The left-wing hoax is still alive and well. Unless you live under a rock, you would know that Russia invaded Ukraine. And if you do live under a rock, it's probably because you live in Russia.
You mean Ukraine?
I was gonna go there, Alex, but I didn't.
Oh my god!
I was gonna go there, but I'm glad I did not. So thanks for taking taking one for the team.
So let's recap this last month of this podcast. We've celebrated drug abuse around the holidays. We're making fun of the poor Ukrainians being under rocks. This is the year we get canceled.
So, this year inflation reaches an all-time high, unfortunately. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. In other words, sorry, Alex, congratulations, Scott.
Everything's so expensive.
And lastly, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which is what made abortion illegal. So tune in next week for the premiere of Handmaid's Tale Season 6 to see what they overturn next. And those are my Cliff Notes on 2022.
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His, and unlike the current podcast to listen to, we are looking for friends. So head over to dizhis.com or find us on all social media at DizHiz65, or on your podcast platforms, search for DizHiz, D-I-Z-H-I-Z. Myself with Joe, Jen, and even Chris. We take a Disney subject every week and go over the history, as well as any information we might know ourselves. Again, find us on any podcast platforms under DizHiz.
All right, Chris and Alex, what do you guys got coming up on DizHiz?
Alex, what if I told you that instead of looking at pictures of places, you could actually travel there? Forget about the money.
Good.
Forget about the money. Forget about the money.
Forget about the money.
Yeah, forget about the money for a second, just
Okay,
for 1 second.
Okay.
How cool would that be to actually go to these places?
I guess it'd be fun.
You know what's not fun, Alex?
Yeah.
Planning them.
Oh, you got that right.
Listen, you love looking at pictures of Paris, but would you ever want to figure out how to get there?
I don't speak French.
Exactly. That's far, Alex, and you don't speak French. How the hell are you going to call a French airline and order a plane ticket and book a hotel in French?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it.
That's why our friends over at Sandpiper Vacations will handle that for you. They speak French. Well, I don't know what they do, but they do plan vacations.
So now they shop for Christmas presents and speak French.
Nick, you better get your Rosetta Stone on. I hope I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't know what the hell they do, if they speak French, if they speak Italian, if they speak Spanish, but they get this stuff done. They book my vacations for me. And you know what? I guess I'm so illiterate to the knowledge of if you need to speak French to book a France vacation, because I never had to, because I always just book it through Sandpiper Vacations. Because you know why, Alex? Just like I'm going to say a word that you love, you might get a little bit excited, but it's free. It's free.
What?
It's free. You don't have to. They don't charge you anything. They don't charge you anything. Actually, you save money booking through them because they know all the deals.
I love saving money.
Exactly. So I couldn't recommend these people more. I use them. Scott uses them. If Alex wanted to travel, he would use them.
I've been to France.
Well, there you go. I mean, you haven't, but
no, I've been to actual France.
No, you have. There's no way you've been to. You've been to France on Google Maps.
I took the shuttle.
The shuttle.
You took the what?
The channel.
What is that?
The channel. The channel is like the train that goes underneath the
America?
Water. The channel tunnel. Yes.
From America to France?
From England to France.
So you went to England?
Yeah, you park your car into it, and then it rides underneath the water, and you get there in like 45 minutes.
If you want to know more information on the channel, contact Sandpiper Vacations at sandpipervacations.com. They'll tell you all about it. They'll give you a free quote. Tell them the No New Friends podcast sent you.
So what's going on at DizHiz this week?
Just Jeopardy. Actually, we have a shared Patreon, one that we have and the DizHiz has. I think we're going to call them like Eskimo brothers and Eskimo sisters. All these shared Patreon members. That's actually someone that shares sexual relations with the same person. So maybe we won't call them Eskimo people. But these are Patreon members that we both have. Ryan, this is new Ryan, younger Ryan, Ohio Ryan. I don't know what else to call him. Not the Ryan from Jersey Man, Florida Man. It's a better one. Better looking Ryan. There we go. Better looking Ryan hosts a Jeopardy, and he kills it. He just does amazing. He wore a suit. Don't know if he was wearing pants. Wouldn't stand up for me, so I still to this day do not know. And to this day, I mean, because it happened today. So Ryan hosts Jeopardy. It's a really fun game. And you're going to have to see who came in first, second, third, and
Well, last. I came in second. I already said it.
Spoiler
alert. Wow. So, anyway.
All right, you can connect with DizHiz. That's DizHiz65 on all social media or DizHiz.com. And also don't forget to check out all of our friends' podcasts. We've got Remy's Roundtable, the theme park podcast. We have the Nerd Archive podcast. It's they talk about all of those things that you got beat up for liking in high school. You've got Studio 21, the baseball podcast. And then, of course, you've got Big Beautiful Diz on YouTube. That's www.youtube.com/c/Big Beautiful Diz. I don't know. It's in the commercial. But just search Big Beautiful Diz, and you can check out all of Dane's really cool videos. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the YouTube, all of the social media and all that, check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our sweet merchandise, and you can watch all of our recordings live for as low as, well, now it's $2 a month. I forgot. It's $2 a month. That changed today. So $2 a month. You're going to want to do that. You want to watch us record live. It's super fun. You'll be laughing your ass off. And a little teaser for next week, I'm going to Animal Kingdom with my dad, so that I should have some funny stories there. Support all of our sponsors, and you can check them out on our website as well. On behalf of Mary, Chris, our producer Alex, Game Master Ryan, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.